Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Buzzing with Barca, the Barca Buzz podcast. Today, I have with me Ethan and Harsh. How are you guys? Ethan?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm excited to speak about all these different topics today. So, a lot in store.
Harsh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. Excited to, much like Ethan, just excited to talk about what we have ready. And
Yes, we have a lot of topics to cover here. We took a break last week, so the topics are just piling up every day. So we will have a lot of things to talk about. We will start with the first topic, the losing in El Clasico. As we all remember, it is very recent. We lost in El Clasico to Real Madrid 3-1 at home. It was a very bad game for us, with many red lights, if you ask me. Although it is just the start of the season, we will start with Ethan. What do you think about the game?
Yeah, bitterly very disappointed. I was not going to lie, I expected Barcelona to win. Obviously, I looked at recent form and thought, I think generally the quality in Barca right now is overall better than Madrid. I think we've got a better player. I think we've got more depth. So obviously losing 3-1 was it left a bitter taste in my mouth. I didn't expect this. Personally, I think it was a fault of, this is my personal view, of Koeman's lineup. So, for example, yes, Pedri did start, excellent player. Problem is, he was used on the right. That's not his natural position. So there, automatically, we have a disadvantage in attack, because virtually in the whole game, the right wing position wasn't really utilized. And obviously, that if we don't really utilize that, that's going to be a major disadvantage in our attacking. Secondly, the defense, very shaky. I think Lenglet is a very good defender, but when it always comes to these big games, he always seems to make that one mistake where he just can't control himself. And we saw a mistake, obviously, giving the penalty away. And since then, we massively declined. The game was quite balanced. We had many chances, but since that penalty, I don't know what happened to the team. And obviously, Madrid capitalized and they punished us.
Yeah, of course. And what did you think about the game, Harsh?
Yeah, much like Ethan, you said everything I wanted to say. Basically, I think we started out pretty, even though we conceded first through sloppy defending. I thought we created loads of chances in good areas. We looked confident. We were taking the ball off of them. But, there was this lack of control over the game. So it felt like any moment in the game, it could go any way. And this time it went to Real Madrid's favor. And I believe that, Longley, silly mistake, and, the VAR controversy obviously benefited them and gave them the momentum they needed.
On that thing, I want to say something about Clement Lenglet. He's a good defender, don't take me wrong. But the fact that right now he is our best center back really shows how weak is our defense. I mean, he's a good player, but he came to be the replacement of Umtiti. He was supposed to be a rotational player. He wasn't supposed to become our best center back. And we will talk about either we should blame the referee or not, but this foul or not foul, it was a very stupid move by him, and a move that he shouldn't do in this level. This is what I think about the penalty. But overall, I think that what cost us the game more is the fact that Koeman didn't have the plan B. I mean, the match screamed right winger from the beginning. Pedri is a good player and he's a great talent, but we needed a right winger to widen our play and to score more goals. And for me, I wanted Trincao or Dembele to enter in the start of the second half, but they entered the game. I mean, Koeman just entered everyone possible in the 82 minutes, I think. It's not the way to plan the match. It wasn't planned. It wasn't a plan B, and it cost us the game, basically.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, as I said, the right wing was non-existent. The subs came on too late. And I agree that I think personally, the penalty was very soft. But again, that was very risky. You could clearly see the shirt tear. And someone like Lenglet shouldn't really be doing this in a big match. He was playing with fire, and obviously the VAR decision went into Madrid's favour. But we can't complain about that. It is what it is. Goulet saying that we lost the whole match from purely the VAR, I think, is an incorrect assumption. Madrid were better than us in many of the departments and could have scored more if it wasn't for Neto. So, yeah, more problems than just VAR itself.
Yeah.
I mean, Neto and Dest were two of our best players in this match, and we were very close to concede more goals.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end, yeah.
Let's just say one thing. The season is always just started. It's not that big of a deal to lose this match. I mean, losing in a Clasico is never fun, but let's just say we have a lot of time to make up for this bad match. But Koeman needs to start having more plan Bs in the match, and we're moving on to the next topic. We'll talk about the controversy over the penalty, and should we blame the referee for this match, for losing this match? We will start with you, Hush. What did you think?
Yeah, I felt like it was a dodgy call. I don't think that, it was necessarily a penalty, but Longley, as we mentioned, gave the referee, a chance to avoid the penalty, which should not have been the case. It should have Longley should have never, tried to make that desperate tackle or, shirt pull, because if you look at it, if you replay the scene, Ramos wouldn't have created any danger out of that play. So I just think it was nonsensical, it was unneeded, and you can blame the referee all you want. You can call the Mundo Deportivo, Sports, all of these Catalan media can, blame the referee and call him a Madridista. And, you can call him a Real Madrid fan, but in reality, it's our fault. It's Longley's fault. And yeah, I mean, there's no need to, put the blame on someone else.
Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree 100% with Harsh. And I think blaming the ref is a very dangerous thing. Because if you just keep on going on, oh yeah, it was a ref fault, it kind of distracts attention to what we actually have to improve within our team. That's why, many fans, or I saw Koeman even put a tweet out saying, we lost because of the ref. I think that is not a great assumption, because what you have to do is learn from this game, improve, say, okay, next time maybe we play Madrid, I'll put faster right wingers. I'll actually put, next time I might change formation. Next time I won't leave so much space in between positions to allow Madrid to, because obviously the first goal came in through very bad positioning and very bad defense. And I think just blaming it solely on the ref is not going to do Barcelona any good, because it's going to just distract them from what they actually have to improve, which is the team itself. And yeah, I completely agree with Harsh. The penalty I think it was too soft, but again, many areas to improve, and focusing on the VAR as the main catalyst in the loss, I think is incorrect. So yeah, that's what I think about the incident.
Yeah, I totally agree with you both, but I want to say something which is, I think, interesting. I just read about a day ago that in 2 years since the VAR installed in the La Liga, there were just 6 times that the VAR changed the refs' decisions over pulling shirts in the area. I mean, it's something that is pretty rare. And having this decision in this game, it is controversial, and it is problematic. But I have to say that I wouldn't expect Koeman to go on and blame the referee for this loss. I mean, we complimented Koeman a lot for his direct way of speaking and talking in the press conferences. But on this one, I think that he did a mistake, because we didn't lose because of the ref, to be honest. I mean, we could have won. Coutinho could have scored the header, and we would maybe change the morale, I don't know, the momentum. But we didn't play well. We weren't good. We didn't win the possession, something that we do on, every game. So blaming the referee is kind of, I don't know, choosing the easy way to think. And Mundo Deportivo and sport. I mean, helping the board is not something that is new.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say, it just shows really how Barcelona has declined within the last few years. Because the fact that we're resorting to this, the fact that we're holding on to the VAR as a catalyst in losing, just shows that we're not really the team we used to be. Barcelona, 10 years ago under Guardiola, we used to win convincingly. Even when we lost, we were very gracious in defeat. We would go back to the drawing board and think, okay, what should we improve? But now we're just resorting to stuff like, there's many fans as well are saying, oh, Madrid have brought La Liga. It's all VAR's fault that we lost. I think that's a very wrong attitude. We need to improve. I mean, okay, yes, VAR might be a bit in favor of Madrid, but I don't think that should be the main excuse, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not Huesca, and we're not a small team in La Liga. And referees were not against Real Madrid. They were never against Real Madrid. They all were always favored Real Madrid. I mean, since we all were born, but and long before that. But Barca needs to win convincingly, and they didn't play well. And I expect Ronald Koeman as our coach to come and stand in front of the cameras and say, "I'm." And now we're moving on to the next topic. Coutinho. Coutinho is injured for the next 3 weeks. Just when we thought that he's moving into a good form and finally doing well, he will be injured for the next 3 weeks. We will see. I mean, who will replace him? Will it be Pedri or Griezmann or Ricky Puig? What do you think, guys? Let's start with Hash.
First of all, I would like to just talk about Coutinho's, performances lately this season. So first of all, I want to debunk, this feeling that Coutinho was excellent. Coutinho wasn't excellent. We paid 140 million for this guy. He's meant to play over, he's performed like a world-class player, but he's been, passing or making one assist or scoring a rebound. And that's not, these are easy goals, easy assists, but that's not world class, and that's not the standards Barcelona fans should keep. And his performance in El Clasico was dreadful. He was not key in keeping with. He lost the ball easily. His one-touch football was atrocious. Missed golden opportunities to score, and shot like out of the box like he always does, but that didn't help us. And this injury, I feel like, will be a blessing in disguise, even though it's only 3 games he'll be missing. Apparently, it will allow Koeman to try something new. It will allow Koeman to leave the comfort zone and try something new. I don't think Ricky Puig will play a lot. He has this agenda against him. I feel like maybe he'll try Griezmann in Coutinho's position, or try and switch around Pedri's position instead of keeping him on the wings. He might play more centrally, but I feel like this is a blessing in disguise. It'll allow him to try more new things.
I mean, this injury can be an opportunity for Griezmann, for Ricky Puig, if they will get the chance. I mean, I think that Griezmann and Coutinho, and Leo Messi, by the way, are players that are capable of playing this number 10 position. This is their best position. And now with Coutinho out, we might see Koeman playing with either Messi or Griezmann as the number 10 when they both can switch positions. But he might also choose Pedri. I don't think that he will choose Ricky Puig, although I, for one, would want it and scream for it. But I don't think that he will do it. As you were saying, he has some kind of agenda. I don't think that it's something personal, but I think that he doesn't think that Ricky Puig is capable of playing the number 10 position, because he's not that forward player, and he's not playing the 4-3-3 tactic as the formation as we are used to play, which is the one that Ricky Puig can play at best. But I believe that he will choose Pedri or Griezmann to replace Coutinho. Yeah. But sorry, I'm speaking a lot. I think that it's also an opportunity for Koeman to finally play with two proper wingers. I mean, not playing with Pedri or Griezmann on the right wing, and not playing with Coutinho as the left wing, but playing with two wingers that will widen our play and will be the solution. If you're playing 4-2-3-1 formation, do it as it should be, with two real wingers. What do you think, guys?
Ethan, you can go first. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the 4-3-3 is the setup, is the formation that we should have, we should always play with. But Koeman is, extremely, let's just say, stubborn about the one having two pivots and having Frankie play there. I think the 3-1 limits Frankie and hurts Busquets. We saw in the Clasico, he was dreadful, he was slow, he couldn't react on time. It's Busquets' time is over. He can only play in some of the La Liga matches, some of the comfortable Champions League or Copa del Rey games. So I really think that 4-3-3 will allow Frankie to operate in that single pivot and also allow for the interiors and the wingers like Dembele, Trincao, Ansu Fati, and even maybe in Conrad, if we can allow him to play. Like that will allow us to grow and use our strengths instead of forcing people to play in a specific formation.
Okay, moving on to the next topic. Let's talk about Pjanic. I mean, they all saying that he's in the club were very surprised to see him very bad shape, and he's almost never plays. I mean, Ethan, what do you think about him?
He's a very good player, but I don't get why Koeman keeps on continuously starting Busquets. When I'm not going to lie, look, Busquets is a brilliant player. He's definitely a legend in Barcelona. But I think personally he has been in decline the last couple of years. And this year more so. He made so many errors against Real Madrid, the way the positional play, losing a lot of the balls, his passing accuracy. So I don't really understand why Koeman doesn't really start Pjanic. Potentially it could be because Pjanic isn't that fit. So we saw a report that say that they, as you said, they're quite confused as to why he's got such a low level of fitness. But I don't know how true that is. But I'd like to see Pjanic starting more regularly. I've seen against Ferencváros, for example, he played very well. And every time he comes on as a sub, I always see he makes good runs. He makes very good crosses as well. He's a long ball player. So yeah, I'm actually quite surprised why Koeman doesn't revert to him more. It's a bit it's a bit surprising to me. I would use Pjanic over Busquets personally.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like Ethan said, but I would like to touch on Busquets once more. I heard the commentator say in the game versus Real that in the past no one would have pressed Busquets, no one would have gone near him because one quick turn, one open space, game over. But now you saw Benzema, you saw Cruz, you saw Vinicius, all of them trying to press Busquets because how weak he is. And I feel like with Pjanic, who is, not the fastest guy, not the fittest guy, but he's sharp and he's still young. So I feel like with him there, he could offer something else. And we have like really little sample size to, make conclusions of. But, the game against our Hungarian opponents in the Champions League last week, we saw how good him and Frankie played. We saw his connection with Messi, making a couple of passes, making runs in behind the ball. So yeah, I feel like Pjanic would liberate Frankie as well, and I feel like he is the person who I would start in a 4-2-3-1 ahead of Busquets. I don't know about his fitness. I know he's not, as I said, the fastest player, but I really hope to see him play because otherwise that is just a waste of, quote unquote money.
We talked about this transfer, this shady deal of Pjanic and Arthur a lot. But at the end of the day, when we had Pjanic arriving, he should be a good player. He's a good midfielder. He's very technical. He has good vision. He knows how to play the ball. He's a ball-playing midfielder. And he can be great near De Jong. I think that the reason that he's not playing is his shape. But is it that bad that it can't even play 10 minutes to get to the rhythm of the play, to get to the rhythm of Barca? I don't know. It seems a little odd to me. I mean, the guy is not that old. yeah, he had COVID-19, but a lot of people had COVID-19, and yeah, he started the season a little bit, late. But that doesn't mean that he can't play a few minutes. It's very weird to me, and I think there are things that we don't know, because he might be in a very bad shape, and they don't talk about it. Against Real Madrid, we played with Coutinho as a pivot in the last minutes, and we didn't play with
Yeah,
Pjanic.
that was just disgusting to watch. It was disgusting to watch. The Barca fan who was used to elegant players playing in that, playing Coutinho, oh my, it was just over for me from that point. And what I would also like to say is,
let's say that he's not playing well. I mean, get Alenia in, get even Ricky Pucci in, but playing with Coutinho, it was.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think, especially since we're losing, and just putting Coutinho in a single pivot in the last 10 minutes, I thought, honestly, what on earth? It's almost like he didn't know what he was doing. So as I agree with Hosh, I think that was quite not pleasant to watch, but oh well, what can we do? It's done, isn't it, now? So
if I could say really quickly, it was just funny for me how now Koeman is playing Busquets week in, week out. When he first came as a Barca coach, he was like, Busquets, leave. Or
moving on to the next topic, Leo Messi. I mean, is it just his morale, or is he getting older? I mean, he's having the worst streak, I think, of his life. I mean, 6 matches, if I'm not mistaken, without assisting or scoring in El Clasico, and 4 matches without scoring overall. I think that is it the problem with his him wanting to leave? Is it a problem of a tactical problem? What do you think, guys? We'll start with Hash this time.
So with Messi, I've seen a lot of things on YouTube and just over Twitter how Messi had Messi was Messi disappeared in El Clasico, and that's not true, because who made the pass to Jordi Alba? That was excellent pass to Jordi Alba, who passed to Ansu Fati, who scored the opener. And the equalizer. So Messi does these things. He ruined Ramos in the first half. He was the one creating the play, and it's true that once you don't give Messi enough ball, or you don't involve him in the game, like, he won't do anything, and that's fair enough. And in the last minutes, as you saw, Koeman just put on like the entire attacking substitution on the field. And what could Messi do in that instance? Like, I don't blame him. And as for his poor run in El Clasico, I think is just how statistics and data can give us a misconception. Because, of course, last year's El Clasico, he had great chances. He should have scored. And then, the 0-0 draw with Valverde last December, once again, just a dreadful performance by the team. But, prior to that, he's been putting in the work ethic. He's doing the defensive work. And I feel like it's not something to be concerned of. I think that he's just trying to figure out his role in Koeman's team. And to be fair, the only person who complements him, who understands him, who's willing to do the work is Ansu Fati in the attacking area. No one else. Coutinho's lost, Griezmann's lost, Trincao doesn't get enough time. Dembele is, only a left winger for Koeman, which is absurd. So, I feel like it will take some time for Messi to get back on the score sheet, regularly, but I don't think you should be worried too much.
So I agree 100%. I just think, I don't know, didn't Messi a couple of weeks ago say that his desire to score is not as much as it used to be?
Yeah.
So essentially, it could just be the fact that he now wants. Obviously, you see Messi, he's very deep in the field all the time. He's resorting to more deep positions than he's ever had before. I think maybe now he's kind of thought that it's okay. Yeah, I've done my bid for Barca. I've scored many goals. I've broken hat-tricks. Now, do something. Try and be I don't know, a lever for other players like Ansu Fati, Trincao, and that. So I think he's now pushing himself back and thinking, okay, I'm no longer the future of Barcelona. So here you've got Ansu Fati, Trincao, Pedri. So let me drop back, let me give them the ball, let them do what they want, and then obviously if they struggle, give it back to me. So he's kind of, he's acting like that as a mentor. So that's personally why I think he's not really scoring as much. Again, the statistics are skewed because it's acting like he's not doing anything in matches, but he should have scored against Madrid. And in every match, he always gives great balls. He has chances. He does wonderful, skills, for example. But yeah, I just think he's now thought, yeah, maybe my hunger is not that much anymore, so I'm going to step back and give other players a chance. And that's why I think now he's more that free roaming role. He assists more, maybe. He drops deep. He helps out sometimes. So yeah, that's personally my belief. Or
Could I?
Sorry. Yeah, carry on, Harsh. What you saying?
Yeah, could I just add something quickly? Because, I don't like to make this comparison a lot, but Ronaldo and Messi, of course, Ronaldo's older and everything, but his main role for Juventus...
Cristiano, not Ronaldo. Guys, there are older people here,
yes,
like
of
me.
course, out of respect for the OG Ronaldo and, Ronaldo. So Cristiano in Juventus, what's his only role? And many people say this, Cristiano should always stay up, not do anything else, just stay up and he'll get the goals. And fair enough, I respect that. But then if Messi stays up, who's going to create? Who's going to take the chances? Who's going to win the battles in the midfield as well and create opportunities for Jordi Alba or Dest to, assist Ansu Fati in the center? No one else would do that because no one else is that creative. Or maybe, Coleman just doesn't have his game plan ready. So, you expect him to do everything. And he's at this age where he can't, even though he does. So yeah, it's something created by the media.
Let's move on to the next topic. Serginho Dest, our new player, is doing great right now. What do you
I
think?
was very impressed by Dest.
Ethan.
Think, what is he, 19 years old? His first Clasico, his second or third game where he's actually started as a right back, because he started the season playing as a left back. So he still has to get used to that role of how to play as a right back in Barcelona. Obviously, he does know how to play as a right back because he was in Ajax. But I was very, very impressed. He had Vinicius in his pocket, if I'm going to be honest. He couldn't get past him. He couldn't. Vinicius is a very good player. He's very pacey. But yeah, he couldn't do anything against Dest. And the fact that Dest, not only a great defender, he also attacked a lot and he made good passes and he's very pacey. Showcasing a bit of his skills. He likes to do a couple of skills every now and then. But I'm very impressed. And after the game against the Clasico, if Koeman starts Sergi Roberto as a right back, I'm sorry, but he is out of his mind and he's not a manager to coach this team, in my opinion. Because after that thing, I think automatically Dest is a natural right back. Sergi Roberto is not a natural right back. He's a midfielder. So I think we should start Dest from now on. He proved himself. Obviously, it's one match and we have to be hesitant with how much pressure we put on Dest and stop comparing him to players like Dani Alves because it's way too early. But after what I saw versus Real Madrid, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Hopefully he can start against Juventus this Wednesday. Harsh, now would you know?
I would like to reiterate the fact that, this is only his third, fourth game or appearance for Barcelona. We can't, make, Dani Alves comparisons like, Spanish media. But he was my standout performer. I just loved his determination. Because Pedri was on the wing. Pedri's 17. He didn't know how to position himself with Vinicius and even Mondi playing as left back. But then Dest told him, "Oh, you stay here, I'll go here." He was his reference point. Dest was Pedri's reference point in that game. And even attacking, he was excellent. He created chances. Defensively, as Ethan said, Vinicius was disappearing. He was in his pocket. And, this is a game of high magnitude. Even though in the past years, the level has dropped of El Clasico, it's still El Clasico. And to see a 19-year-old player, in his third game, play at that level, better than Roberto or Semedo have played in that position, is just magnificent. And it's something promising for all Barcelona fans to look forward to.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say one thing. Serginho Dest is a very young player. And when he first arrived to Barcelona, they said that he is very good on offense, and he needs to improve on defense. But I mean, considering the fact that he just made Vinicius disappear, I think that Dest is having a great potential, and I totally agree with Ethan and you, Hash, that he should be our first choice at the right back. And I will also say that I mean, if Koeman doesn't believe in Alenia and Ricky Puig, I would like to see maybe Koeman playing with, trying to play with Dest at right back, and maybe Sergio Roberto near De Jong as one of the two pivots. I mean, this is just a thought that
Marco,
got now.
I personally,
but, what do you think, guys?
I'm not the biggest fan of Roberto. I feel like he's poor on the ball. He's not press resistant. He's a good runner. Fede Valverde is like Roberto on steroids, let's just say. He's stronger, he's fitter, he has more power, and Roberto's kind of flimsy, but you know, when he gets his chances in open spaces, he'll create lots of chances. He's a player who lives for, you know, a game with, you know, open spaces. So I don't think he would do well in the pivot. I think we saw that in the game against Napoli at home with Setien at helm, and I wasn't really, you know, impressed with that, and I'm just not a fan of Roberto. So
the reason I'm suggesting this, sorry to interrupt you, it's because he's very fast, and having him and De Jong against transition attacking from the opponents might be a good solution, because this is the main problem for our team. I mean, the opponents attack on transition, so it might be a solution. Okay, we hit the buzzer. Now, just a side note, we're moving on to the next topic. Bartomeu out. Is he out? Is he not out? Will we get the vote of censorship in the vote of no confidence in the 1st or 2nd of November, or will he resign? Right now, it seems like the Catalonia government does not allow the postponement the club wanted until the 15th of November. So we might see the vote of no confidence in a very few days.
So what I think the government said is that if you're going to keep it, you have to be aware of, you know, extending the venues and doing that, and that we would not delay the vote of no confidence. And I think what they want is for it to be held next week, November 1st to November 2nd. And the board don't want that. And what they will do if the government says no to the extension or the delay of the vote of no confidence is that they will resign. But knowing Bartomeu, he will like stay firm. I don't think that he would resign, even though there have been many reports, like we saw like throughout this year, that he will resign. I don't think he will. I don't think he has any shame, humility, and I think he's just going to keep doing his thing.
Yeah, I mean, every day is a good day for balancing the books. I mean, we just saw him renewing contracts of Ter Stegen, Piqué, Lenglet, and who was the first one? De Jong, of course. I mean, he did it just so he will pay less money this season, and next season, he will the club will pay more in the salary of these players, and this will be, I mean, the concern of the next president. It's not his concern; it's water under the bridge. He wants to survive this transition phase. He wants to leave the club when it's with less options to sue him, and that's what is only bothering him right now. He doesn't care about the club. He's only caring about his own ass. Sorry, pardon my language. But Bartomeu cares only about Bartomeu, and so is his board. And I don't see him resign. I think that he will try to stay. That's why I wanted to postpone the vote. I mean, he talked about how 18 socios of Barca just died because of the COVID-19. But I mean, why would you say that? Why would you choose that? I mean, last week you asked UEFA to approve 5,000 supporters to come to see Ferencváros. I mean, they didn't die. I mean, Catalans are not important when it's buying tickets to the Camp Nou. I mean, like Hash says, he has no shame. What do you think, Ethan?
Is because he knows that if he resigns, all the debt that's been accumulated under his board, he and the board members would have to pay out their own pocket. That, I think, is the main reason he doesn't want to resign. Secondly, it just shows really how undemocratic this. They preach that they're very democratic. They're not. They literally lied to the government, saying that they think about 5,000 votes are invalid, and when the government asked them to provide evidence, they immediately retracted their claim. That's number one. They've asked for extensions. They've asked very petty excuses, and it just shows how corrupt this board is. They're going to go seriously to. They're going to start inventing lies in order for them to hold on. It's just beyond me. And obviously, Bartomeu is trying to buy as much time as he can. As you said, every day's a good day for balancing books. And I think he knows that if he just keeps on postponing, eventually, when the vote of no confidence is called, it's going to be in January or February. And that's not really, there's no point in calling it that late, is it? Because he's going to leave in March anyways. So I just think it's a tactic by this board. Hopefully he will resign today. I don't think it's going to happen because I think he will end up striking some sort of agreement with the Generalitat. But I really hope he resigns. And obviously, as Victor Fona said, the sooner that a day less of Bartomeu is a day better for Barcelona, in my opinion. Yeah. But let's see how it.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, if the board manages to stay until the elections, the actual date of the elections in March, if they are staying until March, they will not leave immediately. I mean, there will be some sort of transition, and the new board will be ruling the club by June or even the start of July. That's why it's so important to make the elections in a more right now. I mean, yesterday I would make the elections because we need the new president, the new board, to get to their office as soon as possible. Okay, moving on to the next topic. Barça B season starts. It will be a more calm topic, I think. Let's start with saying that Barça B already started the season last week. They won 1-0 the first match, but now the Segunda B is postponed for the next 2 weeks because of many COVID-19 cases in the teams of this league. But I wanted to talk about overall Barça B this season. I mean, they changed a lot of the squad. Players like Monchu, like Cuenca, like, of course, Ricky Puig, Araujo left the club, and they will need to there are new faces to see. Just wanted to hear from you guys. Who do you think? Who are you excited with?
I think as you said, Cuenca, Monchu, Akieme, Morel, like all of these young bright players who I really wanted to see them succeed with the first team left because of this board, and it's sad to see. But under Pimienta, there's Pimienta is like the coach we want for the first team, a player who will give chances regardless of their age or their experience, a player, coach, who will give hope for the team. He's, it's kind of like Arteta and all of like Pirlo, like all of these young coaches at their respective teams, who have gotten the allowance or gotten the, the acceptance from the board, what you want. But, under this board, it's sad. But with Barca B in particular, like I'm excited that Conrad, I'm pretty sure that he's playing with the B team. Then I'm also excited for, I forgot the name, but Oriol Busquets, he came back and he's being tried out in the center back position. So I'm excited to see how that works. And even Alex Collado, I know he's out with injury, but I would really like to see when he makes his return.
Hopefully he will play because I think that once he's fit, I believe that he will leave in January. Alex Collado is a very talented player who should have been a La Liga player this year. But I'm excited about him too. You didn't mention Elias Moriba, which is a very good talent as well. I believe that he has a lot of work to do as well, because when I saw him, I thought that he's very talented for sure, but he's not yet an Ansu Fati who can play like 17 years old and become a world revelation. But he has the talent, and him and Conrad are players that I am actually looking forward to see. Maybe even in the first team this season, but let's wait and see how will they do in the.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really watch a lot of Barcelona B. I'm more focused within the first team, but I think another good player is Hiroki.
Abe.
Yeah, I think he scored around 2 goals or something like that the other day, and apparently he's progressing very well, and hopefully we can see him at some point in the future. Under this board, as Harsh already said, it's a shame. We've kind of forgotten the tradition of La Masia. We're always thinking about foreign players, Neymar this, Mbappe next year, Haaland, but we really need to look inside, because if you think about it, the best player that is this season for me is Ansu Fati. We didn't have to waste a single penny on him. He is one of our own. Same as Ricky Puig, best midfielder post-lockdown last year by a mile. Again, don't have to waste money. All the talent is in with this team. So I think we should, and that's what I like about Victor Font. He promises that when he comes, he's going to revert to the old ways of getting players. Obviously, we have to be patient because they're not going to be amazing as they start. But a couple of seasons, and then look, we can create another dream team like we did when we had Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, all these players. I think that's being lost under the current board. Many players are leaving. Like you said, Alex Collado, very good player, looking like he's going to leave in January. Oriol Busquets, he's back now, but he was out in loan. Exactly.
We just saw Cucurella. We never got a proper chance in Barca, and look at what he's doing in Getafe.
Yeah.
I mean, not all players will become world class. Not all La Masia players will become world class, but you need to at least give them a proper chance. I mean, if players like Cucurella, like Monchu, are living without getting a single chance, it's a shame for our club, because we are. I mean, what do we have La Masia? I mean, if we don't want to use them, and if we're not gonna give them chance, we don't need La Masia. Close it. Moving on to the next topic, Barca just started the Champions League with a comfortable win against Ferencváros, but it's only the start of the season. What do you think about our chances? We will not talk about Juventus. We'll talk about it in the next topic. So let's start overall with Ferencváros and with our overall chances this season.
With respect to the Hungarian opposition, they are no Real Madrid. I think we understood that with the stark differences in their performances. But what common thing we saw between the two was that we were so sloppy in defense. Even from the get-go, I felt like we should have been 2-0 down in the Champions League game last week. The players hit the post, and you later on saw Piqué's stupid decision of giving a penalty. If we conceded like we did against Real Madrid, we could have easily lost the game. If they would have scored, they would have gained the momentum and it would have gone a different way. But what I liked was the perseverance, was the attacking fluidity between the players. It was, kind of strange to see Griezmann just sit there throughout the 90 minutes, just looking and clapping for people to score. That's not what your 120 million, superstars should be doing. But yeah, that's what we saw. We saw Ansu Fati as like the star boy of our team, just scoring goals, assisting Coutinho with a brilliant back heel. Messi, without, like people always say, oh, he hasn't scored from open play, but he was brilliant that night. Pjanic, De Jong, we saw how they worked together. And yeah, Dembele later on, along with Pedri, just electric performances, just electric. And that's, it gives you hope, as, if you play people in the right position, in the right formation, this is what they can do. But then, a couple of days later, we didn't see that from Koeman. Koeman just did everything wrong.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is that if something's working, why change it? So yes, we played amazing. Well, we didn't play amazing, to be honest. As Harsh said, Ferencváros are not really a Real Madrid. They're the Hungarian champions. They're a very good team, but they're not on our level. Why couldn't he just resort to a very similar lineup to that one? Use maybe Trincao or, okay, yes, it's Real Madrid. Yes, they're inexperienced, but look, we never know things if we don't try. Okay, if it would have been bad, change it quickly, change the formation, change the players, sub them much earlier. But again, we did a fantastic thing, and yeah, the lineup was all right by Koeman. But again, putting Pedri in that right wing, I don't understand why. And then in the subs again, like reverting to Griezmann later on versus Madrid, I think was completely all wrong. But I don't want to divert too much away from the topic. But as for our chances in the UEFA Champions League, I personally think that we are not going to win it this year. I think we're still a team in transition. There's one team that is still far ahead than any other team, in my opinion. That's Bayern Munich.
Yes.
Week in, week out, the performances they're putting is just amazing. Yeah. So I think we won't suffer, hopefully, another European horror story this year, where another 8-2, 4-0. But or 3-0, I just think that we're not going to... We're still a team in transition. I think it's going to be another couple of years when we're actually going to win another Champions League trophy. I think we'll do well, hopefully, this year. I just don't think we've got that edge to win it.
Yeah, of course.
I think that it's fair to say that our main wish is not to get trashed this season. It says it, and it's very sad that that's what I was about to say. This is how bad our situation is. I mean, looking at Bayern Munich and Liverpool and other teams, I don't think we have anything to compete with them. They were talking about revolution. Yeah, they did make our squad younger. I mean, again, in the 8-2 against Bayern, we were playing with the oldest starting lineup in the history of the Champions League. I mean, today with the players that we have, the younger players, we are far from that. I mean, we are, I think, one of the more of the younger squads in the Champions League, but still we have a lot of work to do. The problems in our defense, the fact that our if we play against Bayern Munich today, I think that Koeman would line up with Sergio Roberto, Piqué, Lenglet, and Alba, and it's the same defense. Just replaced Dest and Semedo, but I believe that he will choose this four-man defense, which is not enough to compete in the higher levels. And like you said, this is the fact that our best wish now is to not get another humiliation. It's we are in this bad situation. Now moving on to the match in Wednesday against Juventus. Barca will play against Juventus, either if it will be with Cristiano or without Cristiano. But I mean, Barca will play the major opponent of this group stage. A very interesting match against Artur Melo and against maybe Cristiano Ronaldo. But I mean, playing against another elite club just 3-4 days after the loss in El Clasico will be a real test for Koeman and the players. What do you guys think? Let's start with
I think we would beat Juventus quite comfortably, because obviously we started the season well. But after that performance against Real Madrid, I'm not too sure. I don't know, Juventus as well is a bit similar to Barca. Obviously, they haven't suffered their horror stories like we have in Europe, but they're a team that over the last 3 or 4 years is not really the Juventus that we're used to. Normally, Juventus were a team that used to make the semi-finals, or used to make multiple finals. Have had a great history, but again, recently they've been going out quarters, round of 16. Haven't been playing that well. I think they're quite weak as well, especially if Ronaldo's not playing. I think that's a massive disadvantage for them. But I don't know. Hopefully, we will learn from this Madrid. The only thing we can do from this Madrid match is learn it. No point going over the VAR and everything. Yeah. So hopefully, we will start the match with maybe Pedri will play, but put him as a centre attacking mid. Put Trincao, Dembele on the right. Put Messi. I don't know where Messi would play. Potentially, maybe as a striker or as a 9 or position that he could float around. But hopefully we can learn from this Madrid defeat and go out and secure victory. Don't play for a point in Turin, because obviously Turin's a very hard stadium to play in, and obviously the defense in Italy is mental. So let's try and win. Obviously, I would have predicted that we would have won quite comfortably, but after this Madrid match, I think there's still a lot of holes in this Koeman side, and I'm just hoping that Juventus don't expose it again like Madrid did. And obviously, if they do expose us again and we lose again to another top 8 elite club, it's going to signal a lot of red alerts and very worrying signs for potentially what is to come.
Yeah.
I mean, facing Juventus is always hard, but they will play without De Ligt and without Bonucci, I think. So they will have their own problems in defense. But their ex-president Luciano Moggi just said that facing Barcelona is easier than facing Verona, because Piqué will not play there, and their situation is very difficult. I mean, he is correct that Barca's situation is very difficult, but in my honest opinion, playing with Araujo without Piqué, our defense might look even better than against Real Madrid. I believe that as for today,
I feel like I wouldn't
Araujo
say
is
Araujo is better than Piqué,
What do you
but
think,
he
Hush?
offers much more pace, offers much more physicality, offers much more just confidence and concentration, because Piqué easily gets just forgets the game and the importance with some tackles and with some battles with the referee, not the players but with the referee. And as Ethan said, this is going to be a difficult game, and I'm always a pessimistic guy regarding to Barca, especially because of all the just the horror stories I've endured over the past few years. So I'm expecting a draw. I feel like without Ronaldo, they don't have their like superpower or Superman in attack, so they're gonna be missing that. And but they do have a coach who trusts young players and plays them in the right positions, unlike Koeman will play Pedri at right, Coutinho at left, which is not right. Pirlo has Morata up front, Kulusevski on the right. He also has Arthur, also has Bentancur. Sorry, my bad. And he has a good team. They have their own defensive issues, but I feel like it will be a tough match to get a win because of our own issues. And I guess we'll just have to see tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope that to see. I mean, I don't expect an humiliation, because the humiliation come basically in the more advanced stages.
Of course.
But I sure hope to see us winning the match. But I will also get a good draw. Overall, I expect us to look better than the match in the Clasico. But let's see. Okay, guys, this is it of our regular topics today. Now we're moving on to the final words, the 1-minute monologue that every one of our participants
Okay, so
has
my
in
brief
this
monologue
talk.
is just simply going to be about the
start
crisis
with
and confidence for Antoine Griezmann. So basically, I think simply it's nothing to do with positional play and all that he says. I think it's simply to do with confidence. And as we have seen, I think he played as a 9 against, I'm not too sure, was it Getafe?
Yeah, Getafe.
Loss, yeah? But still did not perform to standard. We play him in his proper positions. Okay, you can, fair enough. You can see why he complains if he's not used properly. But okay, we thought this game, we're playing his actual position. He still didn't deliver for how much we paid for him. What was it, 120? He's still been underperforming. And I think he's been underperforming for so long now, these last 2 years, that it's just culminated in this crisis now where he's thinking, look, I'm not the player I used to be in Atletico Madrid. I've never really got off to an amazing start in Barcelona. He started the first season very well, but since then he's declined. And I just don't see him. I think he doesn't fit into this team. Tactically, he's in Messi's position, firstly, and he's not going to take Messi's position off. Secondly, I don't know. It's just the way we play maybe doesn't suit him. I think it's better for him, for his career, and it's better for Barcelona as well to sell him. Because I think if he goes maybe back to Atletico, he could be the player that he once used to be. But again, the fact that he's just complaining all the time in interviews that he doesn't really play well, I think it just stems out from his own insecurity that he's not the player he is, and he's lacking deeply in confidence. And obviously, if he doesn't improve, which I hope he does, because I like Griezmann, I think he's a very, very, very good player. He has to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
right.
today,
Moving
my
on to Hash.
monologue was simply going to be about Coman's inflexibility. Once again, I'm mainly going to highlight about his, reluctance to substitute. And I think we all saw when he subbed on like 3 or 4 players all at once in the 82nd minute. We saw flashbacks of Setien doing the same thing over and over and over again. And yeah, it was just, it was just saddening and disgusting to see how long do you have to wait to react? How long do you have to wait to do something? And yeah, I think this is just a common trend we have seen. We have always had, it's not bad to have arrogant and stubborn coaches, but it's not good to have coaches without a plan B, or without, just the idea of, and without the awareness of just seeing that, something is not right. I think in Coman's mind, after the VAR check, I think he was just like, okay, because of this, we're gonna lose, and I can't change that except for crying about it on my Twitter and in the post-match interview. So I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know why he decided to continue with Pedri, a tired 17-year-old, and Coutinho, who wasn't playing well, who was probably suffering with an injury. And yeah, I feel like if we made the right substitutions with Trincao, with Dembele, maybe even Puig, but at this point it's just a dream. If we made those correct changes in the second half, maybe at the 50th minute, we would have had a different dynamic and momentum for the game. And I honestly think that that's the reason we lost.
All right. For my topic, I decided to talk about Trincao. I mean, yeah, he is not playing many minutes, but I started looking at him from Braga, and my main concern about him, there's without a doubt, he's a very talented player, and he can be an elite player one day. But in my opinion, he is now 20 years old. He is not there just yet. And my main concern is the fact that he's a little bit slow, a little bit of clumsy when you think about the way he thinks. And in Barca, when you play 1-2 touches, you have to play faster. You have to think faster. And for now, in my opinion, when I see him, he seems a bit slow to me. It's not something that screams of the matches, because he's not playing many minutes, but just against Real Madrid, against Ferencváros, against Getafe, I saw him playing just a little bit slow, and I think that our assistant coaches can help him with it. I think that Henrik Larsson is just the man that can work individually with him to see good results there. And I think that the team should give a proper plan for him to improve this aspect of his game. He's very young, he's very talented, but he is in the phase of his career that the club, the sportsmen of the staff should take care of him and should improve this aspect, this defect, if you wish to say,
and
in his game.
To that really quick?
And this is my opinion about
and yeah, I think this is the main common and theme we have had. Like, we have bright players who aren't at the top level, but they don't get the chances to prove themselves or improve at all. And I think, I'm hoping you guys would agree with me, it's like giving a student multiple homeworks, just telling them, oh, keep on doing this, I'll see your improvement, but never giving them the test. When is the test for Ricky Puig going to come, so that we see how he progresses, or we see how he improves? How is Coman telling him, oh, he's going to get his chances, he's going to improve, when they never get that test or that chance? Same with Trincao, same with Dembele. It's just frustrating for us to see, and I can't imagine how it is for them sitting on the bench.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Couldn't agree more. All right. Guys, we finished all the topics today. I will talk to you very soon in the next episode. I would like to thank Ethan, thank Hush, and all of you guys who listened to our episode. See you guys very, very soon.
See ya.
Forza Barça,
Bye.
and we will see you soon.